because they were not always aligned with my goals or my purpose, these projects or these initiatives. Most times they were out of alignment. Now, the biggest thing that I had to confront to sort of overcome this was knowing that I was saying yes constantly. Even when the support wasn't always reciprocated, especially in the workspace. I would usually be the one to step in quickly to help others. Just roll up your sleeves. Even when I've had leadership roles that were above a particular project or goal, I would just want to help. But, and here's the but, when I needed reinforcement from those same individuals, I noticed that there was silence. Or even people dragging their feet. There was a delay. Let me think about it. Let me get back to you. And guess what? Me, Tonya, I still kept saying yes, even after making that initial observation some time ago. Now, one day, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try something different here. I decided to pause and see how it would play out. So, when asked this one time to help out, I looked at my calendar. I looked at my energy and even what my existing responsibilities were at the time. And then I asked myself something I had never asked myself before that day. I asked myself, if I say yes to this, what am I quietly saying no to? Whoa, mind blown moment. And guess what? Answer hit me like a ton of bricks. It was clear as day. I was quietly saying no to my peace and my sustainability. So, for the first time some years ago, especially in that kind of professional setting, I said, I don't have the capacity to lead this right now. I love to say that now. I don't have the capacity to lead this right now. And I did not over-explain why. I didn't soften it with but maybe nope, none of that. I didn't even offer to still carry part of the project. It was just a no. And oh. Ultimately, I got to the point where I had to ask myself, am I helping or am I avoiding discomfort? And I was avoiding discomfort. Meaning those uncomfortable and awkward moments that may come when you say no, that's what I was trying to avoid. And I can tell you from all these experiences that I've had then and even up to current, I learned that avoiding a difficult conversation in the moment often creates a bigger problem later. I can share some stories about those times too. Now, here's the reframe that actually had to change everything for me when I came to this aha moment some years ago. When you're saying, or maybe even hearing the word no, you have to really realize that this is not rejection. Again, on either side of the no, it's just something that should be taken as information because it actually helps to clarify priorities and even helps to protect your focus, whether you are the distributor of the no or the receiver of the no. It just helps to set expectations for all the parties involved. Now, in those experiences that I shared earlier, both personal and professional, when I learned to say no without guilt, the discomfort I was avoiding, it only lasted maybe a few minutes, if that. But, and here's the clincher, the peace of honoring myself lasted way longer than that. And I realized that saying yes without reciprocity, I had actually been doing that and training people to expect access to me, unlimited access, and doing so without partnership. So saying no without guilt was the beginning of me resetting that particular expectation. Now, when I started saying no with clarity and doing so directly and without over-explaining or apologizing, people they had no choice but to adjust to that. Because that was the new thing. That was the new norm. You just adjust. Their world, nor mine, fell apart. And the yeses that actually remained after all those no's felt more intentional instead of resentful. One of the key takeaways that I think you should have from this session today is realizing that every no actually creates space for a better yes. When you say yes to something that is in alignment with your particular pursuits, you feel more grounded and less like you are betraying yourself, because it comes from a place of capacity and not a place of pressure. I've actually learned to ask myself simple questions, and doing so before committing to something. That question is, does this align with my priorities? Does it align with my values? Does it even align with what I'm doing in this season of my life? If the answer to these simple questions is no, then the response has to be no too. A lot of us are still struggling with boundaries because we don't have the language. Many of my mentees and folks that I've coached or continue to coach have asked me for help with this sort of language and trying to find the words and how to say it appropriately. And some of the options that I've actually provided them, it's very simple and it's clear. And of course, it's respectful without even apologies or justification needed. Some of that actually sounds like, I don't have the capacity to take this on right now. My favorite. This isn't something I can commit to in this season. I want to be transparent. I can't give this the attention that it deserves. Or even, that wouldn't be possible for me. But thank you for thinking of me. I love that. As you can hear from what I've shared, boundaries are not explanations. They're just statements. And creating those boundaries does not mean that you care less. It actually means that you care honestly